The college basketball experience, Ohio Valley Conference preview for the 25-26 season on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus fine when you sign up and use the promo code TCESGPN. And welcome everybody into the college basketball experience. Ohio Valley, baby. The OVC, this league has a special place in my heart. Can't wait to talk about it. Preview number 2 of 32? So we're moving along over here at the college basketball experience. Let's get right into it. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, aka the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin.
It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Cheers, everybody. Happy Tuesday evening. We got a full house over here at the college basketball experience. Triple header. We got the OVC right now. We got the Patriot League, and then we got college football weekday preview coming up next. But joining us to talk OVC hoops, you guys know this guy. He's got a Detroit Tigers hat on from the great state of Michigan. He is a LeBaron driving cocktail napkin having Noah Bienick 77. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Mac? Nice to be able to talk with Capper as well as we're going to jump into the OVC. Very happy and glad to be back with the TCE guys for another college basketball season. Schedules didn't align for the first NEC preview, and then Mac took a vacation to Morgantown for 14 days. So, preview 2 is now 2 weeks after preview 1. That's typically how we do this thing, right, Mac? Just kind of, whenever we're all free.
No rules.
We will get all the 32 in. We do have 6 weeks till opening night. Patriot League, like I said, coming up next. But hey, third man in the booth. You guys know him from the Underdog Daily article. He is from the Windy City. He is Cannabis Capper, a.k.a. CC. What's up, bro?
Mac, it's great to be here. OVC also holds a special place in my heart. It's what a college basketball conference should look like. You get the regionality, you get the small gyms, lit arenas, the poverty schools, the power schools for the conference. But it's got everything that a college basketball conference should have, it has. So yeah. I love this conference. It's usually weeknights. Usually you get OVC action, and it's usually all the games like one after another, like they stack them like they have yeah. So you can put together like OVC parlays. It's awesome. I love the OVC.
Clark Townsend talking about cramming all of our previews in during 1 week. That's what we call, when we're really behind the 8 ball, that's what we call our midnight madness. We had to do that 2 years ago, break that out.
Procrastination at its finest. You saw Colby and I cram college football previews all the way up to opening kickoff. So, of course, we're going to do it on the basketball.
Believe me, I enjoyed my summer hibernation when I saw what in the world was going on the football side of things.
I think last year was worse for Colby because I remember him like the night before kickoff, like up until 4 a.m, like talking Wyoming football.
Well,
it happened this year.
Yeah, and in college basketball too. He was on the move, so he was doing some in New Mexico and Texas.
Right, he was all over the place. Poor guy.
Yeah.
But let's talk college hoops. Let's get back. Let's get this show somewhat back in some organization. Noah, you said you did go back and listen. Yeah. How did we do on the OVC last year?
Not good. This was one of our worst leagues. Quite literally, like Mac always says the running joke is, I love this league, and this one he really does because he has some coaching roots in the OVC. But man, we only got one prediction right. So both Mac and I predicted Little Rock to win the league last year. KK Robinson has that secret back injury and basically never plays the entire season. So that obviously hurt. Eastern Illinois was my sleeper. Southern Indiana was Mac's sleeper. Not great.
No.
Tennessee State was both of our bus teams. Honestly, I don't even know if that one necessarily qualifies for us either.
They did okay.
I was kind of high on UT Martin in year one under Shulman. They were my dark horse tournament winner. And then Mac, the one prediction that came through was SIU Edwardsville the year after the year, because man, oh man, did that roster not look like they were going to win a conference tournament. But throughout the season, they had a star emerge in Rayshon Taylor, and it was like a 21-point beatdown over SEMO, who won the regular season. They started just 5-4, then went on a 10-game winning streak during the regular season to win. But yeah, lost by 21 in the conference championship, and SIUE earned the right to get splattered by Houston in the NCAA tournament.
Brian Barone, baby, let's go. Friend of the program. So this is the final year of the OVC too, because how is it going right now? They're merging with another league, if I'm not mistaken. I forget which one that they're merging with. I'd have to look. I know this is the last year of the OVC, though.
You're talking conference realignment when my brain's on conference previews.
Big South.
Big South. Yes, Big South. I knew it was one of the other mid-major leagues. So
that's not a bad combination there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the OVC's been decimated over the years by conference expansion. Murray, Belmont, Austin Peay, Jack State. So the old OVC is gone, and we'll get one more year of this OVC, and then they'll merge.
We're previewing the OVC early because they had the second worst KenPom finish. So this league's just completely lost its luster. Sorry, Mac, that you had to go through years with John Morant.
No kidding. What the fuck? Why couldn't I have been in the league when during this version of the OVC rather than the number 2 pick in the draft or Dylan Windler at Belmont? What the hell? All right, let's talk. Let's get paid real quick. Check out the SGPN app in your app store for easy access to all our free picks and props. So get on over there to the SGPN app. All right, my favorite part of the show. Slideshow. Here we go. YouTube.com/the college experience. Look at these slides, baby. First up on the dock, 11 teams in this league, by the way. It wouldn't be the OVC if we didn't have an odd number of teams. So first up on the dock, we got EIEIO out of Charleston, Illinois. We got Marty Simmons headed into year number 4 now. As you can see, he has struggled over there for year number 5. They have kind of hovered around 500 the last couple years after 2 tough years. Longtime coach at Evansville, played for Bob Knight back in the day. Year 5, big year. Noah, take it away on these Panthers headed into the 25-26 season.
Yeah, so like you said, Coach Marty Simmons enters year 5, but he's had the league's worst offense 3 times in those 5 years. So immediately off the bat, when I'm trying to figure out where is this roster going to slot in compared to the other 11, that's not a great start. And they do happen to lose Kyle Shelton. Again, names all over the place with a lot of us. I do try to pronounce them correctly and take pride in that, but even I can't say that. I mean, a lot of these, when we get to UT Martin, RT Stapleton's gone after playing 29 minutes, averaging 11.5 points per game. Also stuff in the stat sheet, both rebounds and assists wise. Those are the 2 main ones that they do happen to lose here. They returned 3 players that played over 20 minutes per game in Jacoby, Fruster, and Olafioy. Cooper Jacoby is one of the better players returning in this league this year. He's a graduate senior, played 33.5 minutes last season, averaged almost 12 points and 9 boards, 2 assists, shot at 32% from 3. And then Zion Fruster, he's also a senior, played almost 30 minutes a game last season. And Malik Olafioy played 20.5 minutes last season in his redshirt freshman campaign. Marty Simmons does dip into that JUCO grab bag that Mac tends to like. There's 4 guys coming in here that could score at their previous schools. You have Andrew Austin coming in from Des Moines, Michi White, who comes in from Three Rivers, Preston Turner from Mineral Area, and JT Elder from Eastern Arizona. All of them put up double-digit points per game. Also active on the glass, too. Projected starting lineup could have 4 seniors in it. That's a good positive for this Eastern Illinois Panthers team. Capper?
Yeah, for this year, the JUCO grab bag, it's again, it's kind of a mystery team because we don't know what we're going to get out of all of those guys at the next level. Michi White, I'm kind of the most intrigued to see just because I think that he could kind of fill a bit of a gap in that backcourt. I like the senior depth. I like the Cooper Jacoby's coming back, but I don't see a whole lot of improvement in this roster. I think it's probably going to be a bit more of the same, maybe hovering around that 500 mark, probably a little bit under.
I was just about to say, I feel like it's more of the same. I think they'll hover around 500 and probably middle of the pack in the OVC. If they can get on the right side of a bunch of one-possession games, maybe they have a special year, but probably looking at another middle of the pack, year number 5 with Marty Simmons in these EIEIO Panthers. Next up. Oh, yeah, baby. Lindenwood, the penitentiary, coming over here. Coach Kyle Gerdeman. I always butcher his name.
Gerdeman, I thought.
I think it's Gerdeman, but he is headed into year number 6 there at Lindenwood. I mean, he also coached at Moberly. He's a JUCO guy as well, Moberly Community College for a couple of years, but year number 7 here. Last year they took a nice little jump from the previous year at 9-22, 500 in the league. They were also in the middle of the pack, as a lot of these teams are usually in the OVC. No, what do you think of these Lindenwood Panthers headed into next year?
Yeah, so
Lions.
last year,
There's a Lions. Panthers.
EIU Panthers, Lindenwood Lions, they're all the same, right? A lot of cats.
Yeah.
I like backing Lindenwood quite a bit. I thought they were going to be a sneaky team last year, and they kind of were. And I'm right back on the bandwagon, I think. I think they're going to surprise some people once again this season. Last year, the defense was slightly improved for Coach Kyle Gerdeman, but in all 3 of Lindenwood's seasons in the OVC, the Lions have had one of the 2 worst offenses in the league per KenPom efficiency ratings. And they lose 2 players that played over 30 minutes a game last season, and Reggie Bass and Markeith Brownie II. Alex Noakes also is gone after transferring out after his redshirt sophomore season with Jordan Wildy, Ali Tunkara, and Nathan Johnson Jr. all transfer out. Transferring in is a bunch of I would say solid players, and Makai Cooper is a great place to start. He's probably going to be the starting point guard for this Lions team. He comes in from Miami, Ohio, who had a really good year this past season. He played 23.5 minutes for them, 6 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, over a steal per game, shot at 39% from deep on 2 3-pointers per game attempted. And I like that guard quite a bit. How he's going to gel with a couple of returning seniors and Anias Fitrell, who played 30.5 minutes a game, almost 13 points and 6 boards per game. He really stuffed the stat sheet all over the place. And Jadis Jones, a sophomore, last year, his freshman season, played 33.5 minutes, averaged 12.5 points, 6 boards, also 1.5 steals per game. And then Jeremiah Tolton, he's a senior that comes in or that stays on this roster after last year. He was hurt, but he played 23 minutes per game 2 seasons ago with 7 points, 3 boards. And then Robert Lewis transfers in from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Dontrez Williams, Abilene Christian transfer there. Milos Nanadic is a main transfer who didn't play last season either due to injury. Todd Beeg transfers in from D2 Quincy. Kevin Anthony from Wabash Valley Junior College. To me, this is going to be a young team that kind of, grows into itself throughout the season. It's the second least experienced team in the OVC, according to Torvik. But I think the backcourt's going to be pretty good with, 2 guys that played over 30 minutes a game last season, and then Makai Cooper. there's some reason to buy into Lindenwood here on their 10-10 conference finish from last season, because 4 of those losses were within 2 possessions, 2 points or 6 points or less, and they beat Morehead State in the tournament. So that's a very solid win for Kyle Gerdeman. I like where this program's headed. I'm thinking another 500-ish finish once again for the Lions as well.
Okay. No, I really got to echo all your sentiments as far as the backcourt goes. I love the addition of Mekhi Cooper. I think he's going to bring a lot of stability there as far as a ball handler. Great get for them, especially coming from Miami of Ohio into Lindenwood. Good get for them. I like the APB get as well. That gives them a bit more experience, a bit more size that the roster wouldn't have otherwise. With Robert Lewis. Some of the other transfers, Dontrez Williams is interesting, and the main transfer, Milos Nenadic. Take that. Did my best with the name. I think they've got, again, like a solid mix, solid roster. I can see they can play a lot of different styles, which you kind of need to in the OVC. As you got, some teams that go a bit bigger, some teams that go a bit smaller. I feel like they can mix and match, play matchups where they need to. I like this roster. I like what they're building. I'm going to be a bit higher on Lindenwood than I think you guys are, but I think the arrow is pointed up, and I'm going to pick them. I think I like them to finish in the upper half of the standings for sure. I think.
Okay, so top 4 for you on Lindenwood. I was going to say more middle of the pack just because they're at the bottom or bottom-ish in returning production. Gerdeman's a solid coach. I mean, it is their 4th year now in the Division I ranks, and last year was a nice bounce back year from that 9-22. So I'll probably have them in the middle of the pack. Oh, yeah, baby. Next up on the down, Darrell Walker and Arkansas Little Rock. Obviously, Noah touched on it. Disappointing year for the most part last year. Had some injuries. They were preseason unanimous. Preseason everywhere you looked.
They received a preseason top 25 vote.
Yeah, like
That's
that
crazy.
was like, I know it says 19-14, but that was disappointing considering expectations. They won the regular season 2 years ago before getting bounced in the conference championship game. So Darrell Walker here headed into year number 8 in Little Rock. 4 years in the Sun Belt, 4 years in the OVC. Colby should be here to break this down, but no, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that Coach Darrell Walker can hang his hat on is that Little Rock has had back-to-back seasons with top 2 finishes defensively in the OVC. The Trojans return almost half of their minutes from last season and are projected to start 4 seniors. Last season, if you forgot, they did receive that preseason top 25 AP vote. A big reason for that hype was KK Robinson. I talked about it, the unexpected injury in the preseason with the knee and / back. He averages, like in 2023-24, averaged almost 26 points, rebounds, and assists combined. So I'm high on him and what's surrounding him. They got 3 projected starters that are upperclassmen, and they also surround KK with his 2 other brothers. So chemistry's through the roof here on this squad, as you've got Kaysen Robinson and then Kellen Robinson. Both of those guys coming in from Pratt, and then Kellen is a freshman. So Braxton Bayless is a big transfer get for the Trojans this year. He comes in from Western Kentucky. He's a graduate senior, played 22.5 minutes for the Tops last season. And then the guy that they're kind of taking a big gamble here from the high major route is Kachi Zay from Penn State. He's a junior 6'8" forward who played only 11 minutes last season for the Nittany Lions. And then they've got that grab bag of JUCO guys and KK's brother Kaysen, but also Cameron Wallace, Truman Claytor the fourth. So yeah, it's once again a solid group, one of the more talented ones on paper. They do lose Isaiah Lewis, Mwani Wilkinson, and Ante Bellion from last season, but Little Rock, to me, going to be one of the more talented seasons. It's just about whether Darrell Walker gets these guys playing well defensively, and if KK is able to run the offense the same way he was in 2023-24.
Okay. I feel like the defense this season is going to be just fine. They're returning the OVC Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and I can't pronounce it.
Tongue Twatch Gatkek.
6'7". I think his hometown is like Portland, Maine, but I don't. That's not a family name that I would associate with Portland, Maine. Maybe who knows? Um, but either way, I was previously at Texas State and Florida, I believe, and he's kind of found his. Darrell Walker knows he knows how to recruit. He goes
Yes, he
out
does.
and he finds these guys, from these major programs. Maybe didn't work out. Finds guys from JUCO programs again. Looking to get their way back in. I like the roster construction. They got athletes like up and down this roster. They play defense. They have a system. They have an identity. I'm really high on Little Rock yet again. I think this might be the year after the year case with this team.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, year after the year, this team should win the league. If they stay healthy, if their locker room's good, they have the best roster. Just looking at it top to bottom, just the eye test.
They got dudes.
Yeah, like this should be the regular season champion if they can get everything and stay healthy and get out of their own way, unlike last year. So, real quick, let's shout out our sponsor before we move over to the Morehead over Less Head Eagles, baby, because we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is the place to bet on football and everything else. Prop builder, and second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Hey, check out the college football show later tonight where we'll be giving out some MyBookie plays. And head over to MyBookie.ag and use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit bet back up to $500 for new customers. That's MyBookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig is an exchange. You know where you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download that Novig app and use and get $50 when you spend $5. If you use our promo code SGPN, get in on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. All right, we move along here on the college basketball experience. Where's my little arrow? There's my arrow. John Mattox, friend of the program, headed into year number 2. Last year was an interesting year, man. They had the extended losing streak, I think, in late January, and then kind of found themselves at the end of the year. So year number 2 for John Mattox after Preston Bradley went over to James Madison. Noah, what do we think of these Morehead Eagles that are always at the top of the league, despite a little bit of a disappointing year 1 for Mattox?
Yeah, you said it right there. Year 1, a little bit less than ideal for Jonathan Mattox and Morehead State. They'd gotten in a groove of running the new Ohio Valley Conference without Belmont and Murray, but just 10 conference wins. That was the least for Morehead State since 2020. So Mattox hit the portal really hard and brings in a lot of new faces. Josiah Legree from Indiana State projected to be the point guard here after 2.5 assists per game with Sycamores last season. You also have Jacob Wilson coming in from UL Monroe, Tyrone Farrell from Rhode Island, Tamari Relaford from West Georgia, Chase Dawson from D2 Mount Olive, Cameron Wright from South Florida, Davion Cunningham from D2 USC Aiken. But with all those transfers in, there's got to be quite a few that leave. And man, this roster just basically completely turned over outside of George Marshall and Anwar Malouk. So hopefully a lot more addition by subtraction Jonathan Mattox is hoping for. But there's not a whole lot of proven production for me to like here, especially early on in the season for the cocktail napkin. Mac, you know how much I like to use that thing early. It makes a lot of money. This necessarily is not going to be a team that I'm looking to back because they've got that big brand name, but not a whole lot of ready to go from day one production there.
Honestly, this would be a team that I would look to fade early in the season, just because they have so many moving pieces, so many guys who really haven't played together, outside of the summer camp. So I think we're headed for a rougher season for Morehead, just given how young this entire roster is. I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of seniors up and down this. I'm seeing a lot of sophomore, junior. It's a bit concerning. You got when you're dipping down into the D2 for rotation pieces, I feel like that's a sign that the season's gonna might be a bit rough. I'm not very optimistic about this team. In fact, outside of some of the softer programs that we'll get into, this I think I'm definitely seeing them as like a bottom third of the OVC this year. This is not a great roster. Good coach, but
It's
not,
just it's a lot unknown.
yeah,
You've never seen these pieces play together. What, 10 new players, 11 new players, and just not a lot of returning production. They're in the bottom third of whatever returning production category you want to use on Torvik. So I'm kind of with you. Probably middle of the pack. Maybe maybe they get better throughout the year. They're a team you back come January and February, but definitely a team probably you want to fade early on.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to the Jim Root roster sheet for this team.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, goddamn. The defending champs, Brian Barone. At this point, they should build Barone a statue with what he's been able to do at SIUE. 3 straight winning or 500 or / winning seasons in the OVC. They had not had that at the Division I level. So for him to have 3 straight winning seasons now overall, and then in the OVC be 500 or better, I think is a testament to the program. He's been able to run. He's a coach's son. Barone's done a hell of a job. There's no other way to put it. This was a terrible program when he took over, and what they've been able to do, get to the tournament, kind of just blindly want to back Barone again. So Noah, I know you were out on this team last year. They caught lightning in a bottle down the stretch. What's your thoughts on this team?
Yeah, I was out on this team last year because I wasn't necessarily all the way in on Barone because, I picked SIU Edwardsville to win this league, not last year, but 2 seasons ago, because they had a lot of continuity, and the Cougars finished just kind of a 500 in OVC play, which, to what you mentioned, Barone's consistently been able to get them to the middle of the pack in the OVC, and then broke through last year. It was the best year in his campaign. And career. Not only did they win the conference tournament, but it was the first season where he had an above 500 finish with a 13-7 record. SIUE, they had that consistently good defense that was ranked inside the league's top 5 4 seasons in a row. The Cougars were able to parlay that with the OVC's 4th best offensive efficiency, and that turned into an NCAA tournament appearance. They were all clicking at the right time. However, for 2025-26, they return the OVC's 2nd most minutes at 56% and are the 3rd most experienced roster in the league, according to Torvik. And that's evident in the 8 seniors that could be in this year's rotation. You've got Blaze Sagna, who transfers in from Stetson, Troy Cole Jr., Braxton Stacker, Brendan Terry, David Adada. Elliot Lowndes is a 7-footer. Both him and Adada, big forwards there, adding a lot of depth. And then Saxon Hepker. All of those guys, seniors. And then also they go out and grab Landron Blocker, Louisiana Tech transfer, and Luke Almodovar, NAIA transfer from St. Francis, Indiana. I really like the size of this front court this season. I think that's going to allow a pretty new backcourt of transfers to grow into their roles throughout the season. I think this is another top half finish for SIUE above 500.
I'm sorry, were we doing SIUE or SEMO?
This is SIUE.
Okay. No, I think you just ran off the SEMO roster.
I did.
You sure?
Yeah,
I did.
It's okay.
Well, a lot of the things we're going to say about SIUE, I'm going to say about SEMO too.
Actually, that's accurate.
I like both those teams.
So I read off the SIUE roster, but a lot of my nuggets, or I read off the SEMO roster, but a lot of my nuggets were on SIUE.
That's where you were saying Barone. That's why I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I on my sheet I ordered them SEMO and then SIUE. So
Mac tripped us up. It's
that's where I got confused there. My apologies.
Producer always blames the talent, Noah.
Yeah, my first time back on the air, and I fucked it up. Let's go, boys.
You didn't fuck up at all. No, SIUE, they returned the majority of their front court with Joe Valerie, Ringmouth, and Arnis Sakanis. Love that experience up front. But they also have 2 senior transfer guards in Jack Campion and Darius Robinson Jr. This is a team I would probably look to fade a bit earlier, just because they have, they're replacing that entire backcourt. Yeah, but they're doing it with seniors. But I think there might be, take a bit of time for the rhythm to get there, especially early in the season. But I have a feeling once the conference schedule comes into play, I'm going to want to be backing the SIUE, this SIUE team in terms of for gambling purposes. Love the experience, love the coach. This is a solid roster from top to bottom, but I think you might see a little bit of a learning curve coming in, but I think they're going to pick it up quick. So I dig this roster.
Do we all agree this is a top 3 team in the league?
Yeah, I agree with that. Noah?
I think they're going to get better throughout the year. Like I said, I like a lot of their experience. They've got the 8 seniors there that I read off. Also, SEMO's got 8 seniors, so that didn't really help me at all.
I was like, I knew that they both were old as shit, and I
didn't look at the order of how I had my notes, but I mean, Capper helped me a lot there. I mean, the front court is solid. I really like it. I think that's going to allow this new backcourt to kind of grow into itself throughout the season. This is going to be a good team at the finish of the season once again, just like last year.
Let's get over to SEMO. Brad Korn. He's a
there.
And that's what's ironic is they're similar in the alphabet and honestly similar years last year. Both had breakthrough years. SEMO having the breakthrough year in the regular season, going 15-5, winning the league, losing the championship to SIUE, who got hot in the tournament. Brad Korn, year 6, they got a ton coming back. This is a top 3 team too. Both these teams are going to be good next year. Noah, take it away.
I just want it known: SEMO on the graphic here, SIUE on the graphic here. E comes before the letter I.
Well, because SEMO's name is Southeastern Missouri State, so that's where it's SO, and then it's SIU Edwardsville. So that's where these two are so intertwined and confused.
Yeah. Anyways, so in year 3 of Coach Brad Korn's seasons at SEMO, he's had a top 3 offense in every single one of them. 2025 was by far the Red Hawks' best season, though, with Korn, because they were able to parlay that with the league's best defense, or a top 3 defense in the OVC. Sorry, the league's best offense with a top 3 defense. Everybody on the coaching staff returns alongside 3 starters and 62% of their minutes from last season, which was the most coming into the preseason in the Ohio Valley Conference. There will be some growing pains because they are breaking in a new point guard, just like SIUE, and they're projected to start 4 seniors, pretty similar to SIUE, which makes Red Hawks the second most experienced team in the league this preseason. You got to love that. BJ Ward returns. He's probably going to be your point guard, the new one this season after Rob Martin departs. He played 31.5 minutes, 15 points per game, 4.5 assists. He transferred out alongside Tedrick Washington, who played 32.5 minutes, 14 points, 5.5 boards, 2.5 assists. And then TJ Beal, Mason Hanbach, and Demarion Walkup also exit. Incoming, I already read kind of the incomers here: Blaze Sagna from Stetson, Landon Blocker from Louisiana Tech, and Luke Almodovar from NAIA St. Francis. But they do also have, the trio of seniors in the front court: Troy Cole Jr. on the wing, Braxton Stacker on the wing, and Brendan Terry, a 6'7" forward. All of them played at least 18 minutes per game last season. I like the experience once again on this team. I have SEMO also contending for a title, slightly behind Little Rock, who I think is the front runner.
Yeah, no, there's one unique aspect of this roster, and that's that they have 2 7-foot seniors that they could go to for, in case they have there's an opposing big that's giving them trouble. They got a lot of fouls that they could throw at another team. I think that having that size is really unique for this conference. I remember I saw Dada played, in spurts last year with this. He averaged 9.8 minutes last year, so he did actually play, see him out in the court. I liked a lot of the things that he did down low defensively. He's a big bodied dude. Um, that's it. It's unique in terms of roster construction. For the OVC, so I think that could potentially be an advantage, or something to consider. Come conference tournament time, come conference season. The fact that they have size that they can throw at teams. I just love the experience up and down this roster. I feel like this is dudes have played together for a long time, been the same program. Mac, I've got a coaching question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Korn, how long?
K-State guy.
Okay, that's where he's headed next.
No, I don't know if he could get.
Oh no. I'm sorry. My first question would be how much longer do you think he's going to be at SEMO?
He needs to have another solid year. This could be a year that he could jump to a Missouri Valley type job. He did play at Southern Illinois. I know Southern Illinois just had the coaching change 2 years ago with Nagy going over there, but I think he could jump to a Missouri Valley if he, let's say, wins the Ohio Valley another year. So yeah. He's good.
I could see him as a hot name coming up, just because he's a bit younger and he's had a fair bit of success building this program.
He's a Bruce Weber guy. Played for Bruce Weber and then worked at K-State for Weber before getting the SEMO job. So yeah, he's definitely on the way up. So let's shout out our sponsors, and then we'll finish up here with the bottom teams. Southern Indiana's up next. I like talking my team. But over here at the College Experience, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdogs, great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Available with a ton of different sports. Get on over there. Underdog's got a brand new offer for customers. Play 5 to get 50 in bonus funds when you use the sign-up code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's on fire to start the season in college football. Introduce a new leaderboard with weekly cash prizes, just making tracking of your bets in the app. Track 5 bets in same type for any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Head on over there and use our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm for 25% off your first month. Download the Rhythm and use our promo code SGPN25.
I'm glad to see that Rhythm's on fire, but Arch is not.
Arch is not on fire. They need to get a new graphic. Oh, Arch is on fire when he's playing Sam Houston State.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like this coach. Stan Gouard over there at Southern Indiana. He has been there forever. Well, he was at Indiana University before that. Not the Hoosiers, the other Indianapolis, the Greyhounds. So he is in year number 6 with the Screaming Eagles. They obviously transitioned from the D2 to the OVC 4 years ago. Disappointing couple last years where they've been in the bottom basement of this league. Yeah. They were really good the first year. They overachieved. I remember just taking them every game, it felt like, as a huge dog.
They had Isaiah Swope.
Yeah.
Damn good point guard.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit of a down here over the last couple of years. 44 losses in 2 years. I would say I know Gouard played there, from 93 to 96, so he is home. But they definitely need to show some progress, I think, this year.
Yeah, they like you mentioned, they burst onto the scene in D1 in that first year under Stan Gouard with the OVC's best offense. But a lot of that, I think, after these last 2 years, you have to kind of tribute to Isaiah Swope, because he's been really good elsewhere across the country. Because the Screaming Eagles have been near the basement in both offensive and defensive efficiency per KenPom the last 2 years without Swope. Bartorvik has the squad as the most experienced bunch in the OVC, so there's reason to believe that USI may not finish in the cellar this year due to the massive grab bag of portal additions from other D1 schools that played meaningful minutes at their previous school. But you can also look at this roster and say, holy shit, nobody returns. Josiah Dunham played 16.5 minutes. Braxton Jones played 15.5 minutes. And Caden Galehausen played just 3 minutes per game. Everybody else is new. You have Sheridan Sharp coming in from Southern Illinois, who only played 17 and a half minutes last season for the Salukis. Trey Thomas was a stud at Bethune-Cookman. 32 and a half minutes per game, 16 points per game, 3.5 boards, over 2 assists, over steal per game. Stephen Clay from Morehead State, interconference transfer. Colby would play the Guns right about now. Ben Izagu comes in from Appalachian State. He only played 7.5 minutes a season ago there. Ola Ajiboye from Tennessee Tech, another one that I probably didn't nail. Ismail Habib played 23 minutes a game last season for Portland State. Emery Brown, a junior who's 6'5", played 30.5 minutes, 18 points per game, coming in from NAIA Oklahoma Panhandle State. He was really efficient when he was shooting the ball. Cardell Bailey, a senior, played 22 minutes a game last season for Maryland Eastern Shore. And then from my neck of the woods, Grand Valley State, which is a D2 school in Michigan, Caden Brown comes in after playing 25.5 minutes per game, 14 points per game. And then Triton Junior College, Tolu Samuels, a 6'7" junior. Devin Curtis only played 3 minutes a game last season for Cal. He comes in the Southern Indiana as well. You can kind of see a little bit of a change of offensive philosophy with these newcomers. Last year, the Screaming Eagles were 314th in three-pointers attempted. And then you got Trey Thomas, Stephen Clay, Habib, Brown, both Browns, and then Cardell Bailey. They all got up more than 4 threes per game. A lot like that 2023 team, this team's going to be chucking from deep, and hopefully they hit. So Screaming Eagles, a little bit of an enigma for me. I have a tough time trying to peg where they're going to be in the standings for me.
Yeah. This is one of 3 complete mystery teams. You're really gonna, for gambling purposes, you're really gonna have to take a wait and see approach. See how this, we'll see what the rotation looks like, see how the roster fits together, and I would honestly probably look to stay away early in the season. As far as the full season goes, it really depends on how well he's able to get these guys to buy into the program. And my guess is, like, I don't think they'd be transferring in if they weren't buying in. So I kind of feel like this could be a real sleeper team, especially for a conference tournament. They've got a ton of experience. They've got dudes. They're not going to finish 314th in 3-point shooting again this year. I guarantee that. The one guy that stood out to me was Amari Brown, the NAIA transfer from Oklahoma Panhandle State. He's a Chicago kid, and I can't imagine going from Chicago to Oklahoma Panhandle. And at least now he's a bit closer to home in Southern Indiana. So I kind of like, I'm kind of excited to see what he can do a bit closer to home. So I really want to see this team play, but from an early season perspective, it's a wait and see. From a season long perspective, tough to peg. From a conference tournament perspective, I wouldn't want to play. I have a feeling this is going to be the team that nobody wants to play.
Shout out to the chat. Matt asked, did Gouard play under Bruce Pearl? He did. He was on the national championship team that Bruce Pearl won at Southern Indiana. So, yeah, shout out to Bruce Pearl on a hell of a career, by the way. All right, let's go over to the next team in the OVC. I put a bow on Southern Indiana. I think I'm going to be higher on this team. Back against the wall. Got to have a good year. They are super old, the oldest team in the league to Noah's point. I think they come together, and I think they're playing their best ball by conference play. Oh, new coach over here, Nolan Smith in the OVC, headed over from Memphis. Obviously, he had the great career at Duke, won a national championship. He's coached at Louisville, so he's had multiple high major stops. Roster's talented, bringing in the guys via the portal. We'll see how quickly the staff meshes together. He has surrounded himself with some veteran guys in the coaching industry, but obviously no one hasn't ever called a play. So, what's your thoughts on this roster? They're talented.
Yeah, he's respected in the coaching industry for the elite recruiting, not necessarily, like you mentioned, patrolling the sidelines. I have a question for you, much like Cap asked you a question about Korn, I believe. Nolan Smith was a Dobo up until just 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. From where you were as a Dobo, could you expect yourself to be a head coach in the OVC just 5 years after?
I mean, Spradlin did it at Morehead, so he worked his way up. Yeah, I think it just depends on the staff that you surround yourself with. So he's surrounded himself with veteran guys in the industry, guys like Delonte Hill. So I'm interested to see how this works because, I mean, if there's a roster you can just get some dudes in here and flip it, the OVC would be the league.
Yeah, I would say it was kind of a I can't remember where in the timeline it happened, but he didn't necessarily hammer the portal like I would expect, like a coach hired in for his recruiting chops to necessarily do. He kept a lot of this roster intact. And, you know, there was a couple of guys that really did quite well offensively, at least. You had Aaron Kruma, who played 30 minutes a game, 11 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 3 assists. Travis Harper II also comes back. He's a redshirt senior who played 27 minutes a game. And then Carlos Williams is a grad senior who played 26 minutes a game last season. Those three guys are kind of your core, but they also returned 4 or 5 other guys from last year's team, and the transfers they really got. Khalil London's the big one. He transfers in from Charleston, but he didn't play at all last season. Jabrion Spikes is a transfer from NAI Georgetown College. He's a kid that they're kind of high on right now. He played 26.5 minutes a season ago, 13 points per game, 4 boards, 2 assists. And then Jalen Petre comes in from Sacramento State after only playing 12.5 minutes there. He's a senior 6'8" forward. To me, this roster doesn't necessarily jump off the page for an elite recruiter, and they lose Brandon Weston, who played 32 minutes a game with 16 points. To me, Tennessee State, year one, brand new coach who's never done it before, they're going to be in the bottom half for me. Capper, what do you think?
I actually kind of like this roster. The one that stood out to me was Jalen Petre, the transfer from Sacramento State, 6'8". Looks like a dude on paper. I'm kind of excited to see how what he can do in this conference. But I feel like they returned two out of 3 from their backcourt and Carlos Williams. I I really like the returning minutes. I like the returning production. And I feel like the additions of Petrie and Spikes, you got a solid starting 5. I think depth might be a bit of a concern. But at least on paper, the starting 5 is among the more solid in the conference. I would pick them to come in the upper half of the conference. Why not?
I think I tend to agree. I think middle to maybe that 5-6 range or 4-5-6 range.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a solid roster, but just interested to see the whole Nolan Smith experience here.
Yeah, we've had quite a few middles, and then there's been a couple of contenders here. We've got 3 teams left. I'm smelling a few basement dwellers.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
right.
Oh, big time.
There you go. We'll start it off. John Pelphrey, year 7. It's hard to believe it's already year 7 for Pelphrey in Cookeville. Sitting there, 66 and 119 in his tenure there, 215 and 245. Of course, he was a head coach at Arkansas and South Alabama. Been a little bit of a zigzag program. Up one year, down the next, back up. Or not up, but like middle of the pack. Yeah, I mean, he had the one good year 3 years ago where they finished second in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, what's your takeaway on this roster? This program's interesting.
Yeah, so we talked about it 3 years ago. It was the best season under Pelphrey, but only once under Coach John Pelphrey has Tennessee Tech had a top 5 offensive efficiency. And you would say, okay, maybe offense isn't his thing. It's the defense. However, the Golden Eagles have had one of the 3 worst defenses in 5 of his 6 seasons. And then Tennessee Tech loses 4 starters, and there's not a whole lot of proven production on this roster. When you talk about a seesaw type of program that Mac was mentioning, this is your ingredients for that. And there's a lot of new faces here because of all that left. It was basically almost everybody. The only returning starter from last season was Mekhi Cameron, a redshirt senior for this season. He played 26 minutes a game. He's going to be surrounded by a JUCO point guard in Jakeem Payne. JUCOrecruiting.com ranked him 63rd in the transfer portal. He put up 8.5 points per game, 5 boards, almost 6 assists at Georgia Highlands. Brandon Muntu is a transfer from Western Michigan. He's a graduate senior, played 18 minutes a game last season. Mekhi Turner comes in from Kennesaw State. He's a sophomore, only played 7.5 minutes a game. And then a couple other JUCO guys that were studs there. Ty Owens from Polk State put up 15 points per game. And then CJ McPherson from USC. I'm not from California. I have no idea how to pronounce this city or area. It's USC Salkehatchie. It could be South Carolina too. Honestly, I've never heard of that school before, and I like to think that I know quite a few random ones in the country. But he put up 18 points per game, 5.5 boards. And then from D2, Le McRae, Jaquavion Florence, he's a graduate senior, played 29 minutes a game, 17 points per game in the D2 level. And then D3, Owen Varnado comes in from Calvin College in Michigan, 29 minutes a game, 16 points per game. Malik Ferguson, Georgia State transfer, who played 10 minutes a game. And then Danny Pounds, an Old Dominion transfer, who played 8.5 minutes a game. This roster doesn't quite do it for me. This is one of the dwellers that I was talking about coming up here.
Yeah.
Tennessee Tech, bottom half for sure.
Yeah, I got a co-sign on that. Bottom third is what I'm seeing here. I just given what we've seen with some of the other teams, your SEMOs, SIUE, even Tennessee State, just with their returning, the roster just doesn't compare quite as well. When you have to dip into D2, D3, and for transfers, that roster starts looking awfully soft. You can occasionally find a guy, but when you see multiples, that's when the antenna usually goes up. It might not be the strongest roster. That and the other pieces they're bringing in, none of them are really like key rotation pieces at smaller schools. It was all guys playing. I guess Brandon Muntu. I guess he played 18 minutes per game, but the other guys are all like 8 minutes, 7 minutes. You're not really looking at guys who could replace starter production. So I think if I just following the pattern, I think if you go 16, 10, 15, I think we're heading to 9 is where the next plot point would be in this graph.
Yeah. And I'll add to Capper too, like another thing with a lot of these JUCO and D2, D3 guys that they bring in, not necessarily specifically for Tennessee Tech, but you'll see this around the country when you really have to jump into that grab bag and take a few gambles. A lot of them are the stars and not necessarily guys that have played in roles on a specific team before. They've been like the number one option. And a lot of that, you just got to mold them into a team, and it's really tough to do in just 1 year. And then everybody transfers. It's a brand new team the very next season.
Yeah, look at Oklahoma State football. They had D2, D3 guys, and they're awful.
Pelphrey hasn't had a winning season in 6 years in Cookeville. I think it's going to be 7 straight. And I like Pelphrey, but it feels like time might be running out here in Cookeville.
Yeah, I have a feeling I get the same feeling.
Here
we go.
Coach Jeremy Shulman. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a good coach. He was a great coach at the JUCO ranks at Eastern Florida State. And yeah, I thought they were okay in year number 1. I thought they were solid. I thought they were chippy early. I kind of thought they would do more in the OVC, but they finished 8-10 in league play, pulled an upset in the conference tournament. Now year 2, another year of his system. Noah, what do you think with this roster?
Yeah, so I was very high on this program last year, and mainly because of Coach Shulman. So I had to go back into last year's notes and really re-dive into all that. He went 346 and 107 in the best junior college conference in college basketball. He mainly recruits international guys, which we'll get to, and I'll struggle with a lot of their names.
Oh yeah,
many of them from Europe. In the season prior to Shulman arriving at arriving at East Florida State College, where he coached for all that time in junior college, they had just won 7 games the previous season. They were in an 11-year tournament drought. Shulman won the Coach of the Year 9 times in 14 seasons. The East Florida State College Titans won 10 straight conference championships, 11 in total. They went to Final Four twice, Elite 8 3 times. I was bullish on UT Martin last year. I continue to think that there's a very high ceiling here because of Shulman, and also with a lot of these Euros on the team, You get good experience from wherever they were playing previously against men, basically. And last year, the Skyhawks, they had a top 3 offense in the OVC and finished in the middle of the standings. This year, I think UT Martin takes another step up. Now let's talk about the roster. Let's have some fun.
I can't wait.
They lose a few guys who played over 20 minutes a game last season, and Terrence Gouard, Vladimir Selaridze, and then Mattia Zuzic. Those 3 guys played over 25 or 20 minutes a game. Afan Turnica. This is the guy that I think is going to take a big step up this season. They were high on him last year because he came in from East Florida State with Shulman. This year, he's going to have the backcourt like kind of all to himself. He played 25 minutes a game last season, averaged 8.5 points. But he's going to be surrounded by Dragos Lungu, who is a San Diego transfer. He's a 6'6" wing. Like a lot of these guys are giants for the wings. AJ Hopkins, a regular name there. He's a senior who played 17 minutes a game last season. Andrija Bukum Rivovic is a 6'7" wing who's a junior who played 19 minutes a season ago. Filip Radakovic is a sophomore who played 19 minutes ago. Luka Kolchag is a Northern Colorado transfer who played 10.5 minutes a season ago. He's a senior 6'8" wing as well, who shot at 40.5% from 3 when he was on the floor. Lamine Yang is a 6'9" redshirt junior who played 11 minutes for UT Martin last season. And then from JUCO, Charlie King transfers in from Southeastern Illinois, who put up 20.5 points per game, 8 boards. His brother Charlie King or his brother Damian King. Sorry, Charlie King, brother with Damian King. Normal names, and I'm still fucking it up. But Ty Price is a freshman coming in, and then here are all these European gambles that I'm not even sure if the NCAA knows what they're doing classifying these guys. Filip Petkovsky, Matthias Danushas, Vladimir Krepa, Enrique Moya, all these guys. A lot of them Euros, but great coach. And I think this is a guy that's going to have this team once again in the middle of the pack, playing their best ball come around in March.
Are you sure the Kings are brothers?
I think they are.
Well, Charlie is white and Damian is African American. Appears.
Fuck that up too. All right.
They could be. I mean, one of them could be adopted, so who knows? But
they could be stepbrothers.
Yeah, stepbrother, big time. Could you imagine moving from Senegal to UT Martin?
Yeah, no. Culture shock.
No. Moving from Slovenia to UT Martin.
Culture shock, baby.
I absolutely love this roster. I cannot wait to see what, this is again one of the mystery teams that I was referring to. This very well could fit together and be fantastic. Based on the coach and based on the history, it wouldn't shock me if this is a really talented roster that was a lot of fun to watch. I'll say there's 65% chance that this is one of the better teams in the conference, and a 35% chance that this team is a dumpster fire, and with very little middle ground. Just given the different pieces and how they're fit together, I would hope the coach, that Shulman is has what he wants and is able to let them kind of run with it. I'm hoping for that. That being said, there's still a chance that some of these kids might not pan out the way they think that they're going to. That being said, I can't wait to see this roster play. This sounds like a lot of fun to me.
I'll co-sign what Benny says. JUCO coaches grind. I think the Skyhawks will take a step forward. Right. I think Shulman went through the OVC one year, knows what he wants. I think they're going to take a step forward.
All right, you've talked me into it. I'm sold. I'm on. If Mac's on board, if we got a JUCO grinder, let's fucking go.
Let's go. Another JUCO grinder, Chad Boudreau, headed over here at Western Illinois. 2 years ago, did an unbelievable job because Western Illinois has really struggled as a program. But going 21-12, then 12-19, a little bit of setback here. What do you think here, Noah? Headed into year number 3 with these Leathernecks. This is a hard job.
Yeah, it is. I was a little bit higher on last year's group. Got burned by it a little bit because in year 1, Chad Boudreau, he led the Leathernecks to their first 20-win season in forever.
Coach
with a top 5 offense and defense in the OVC. and last year brought a few guys back from that 24 team, but 2025 was an absolute disaster. Western Illinois had the worst defense in the league, finished second to last in the standings. Boudreaux completely cleans house. Nobody returns from last year. There's a lot of seniors on this team for the upcoming season, but they haven't really put up much production so far in their college careers. So it's really just another one that's kind of the mystery teams that Capper was talking about. Because a lot of these guys really kind of lack production, in my opinion, at the mid-major or high major level. Tyron Cook is the projected point guard coming in from Indiana State. Lucas Lorenzen is an NAI transfer from Dordt, who played 30 minutes a game last season. Also, Isaiah Griffin, who played 30 minutes a game. He's a graduate senior Idaho State transfer. I liked the Bengals a lot last year. He was one of their better players, put up 10.5 points per game, 4 boards. Francis Okuwasa is a grad senior who played 28.5 minutes for William Woods, an NAIA school last season. Antoine Massey is a Southern Illinois transfer. He was a senior, played 15 minutes a game last season. And then Kerriak Dixon, a senior who played 26.5 minutes last season at D2 Emporia State. That's a projected 6-man rotation there. Outside of that, I don't really know a whole lot of what this team's got. Jack Riley is a transfer from JUCO Northern Oklahoma Tonkawa, who put up 12 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. A lot of that, to me, I'm hoping is legit, but I'm wondering what kind of competition he was playing in junior college in Oklahoma. Nick Hiddle, a Southern Indiana transfer who didn't play in 2020 last season. Guanar Billieu is a Bradley transfer who hasn't played much his entire career. Stephen Tipton, Northern Illinois transfer, who only played 10.5 minutes a game last season. Ethiok Peter is a Cal State Monterey Bay transfer from D2. Marcus Pygram is a Gulf Coast State transfer. And then Danny Stevens from Mizzou, but he was a walk-on there and barely played. The Leathernecks, I think there's a lot of work to do with this roster.
I think so. This is, again, just given the way the roster is constructed, again, this is going to be another team that I would look to fade early in the season, just because it's guys who've literally never played before. That being said, I do trust the coach. I think Chad Boudreaux, he's a bit of a grinder. I think he's going to get this. I think he knows what he wants. He knows how to put together a roster, but I think it's going to take some time with this roster in particular. So again, a team that I'd look to fade early, but I think as the season goes on, you're going to see them start to improve. I really do.
Yeah, this is a mystery team. Just with all these new faces, Boudreaux, like you said, great job in year one, taking over that job and elevating the program. But then last year was disappointing. So, let's rank them 1 to 11.
Let's do it.
Number 11. Tennessee Tech. I think Cookeville finishes in last.
I have Western Illinois. We just talked about it. A lot of these guys are either JUCO, D2. I got questions almost pretty much throughout the roster. And I thought I liked Western Illinois last season, and that was a complete disaster. So I don't know what I'm getting right now with that program. So they're an 11.
Okay, I'm going to co-sign Tennessee Tech for 11.
Well, at 10, I got Western Illinois.
Yeah, 10, I got Tennessee Tech. They're gambling on also a lot of better, in my opinion, JUCO and D2 studs. I wouldn't even classify Western Illinois guys as necessarily studs at their previous location.
Yeah.
I'll put Western Illinois at number 10 as well.
So unanimous on those two.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, about them too.
At number 9, I can't believe I have this program this low. Morehead.
Yeah.
There's just a lot unknown with Mattox. He's got to prove it to me.
I have Southern Indiana at 9. To me, so many new faces, a program that hasn't had it the last 2 years without a star point guard. So Screaming Eagles at 9.
See, this is where I'm going to put EIU at 9.
Okay.
But I see the case for the other two.
At number 8, I got Tennessee State. I want to see Nolan prove it to me as a coach. I know we like some of the pieces, but this way, I mean, these are the gap between 4 and 9 or 5 and 9 is really not that big.
Yeah, I also have Tennessee State 8th. To me, I'm not willing to bet on a brand new first-year head coach who's not necessarily known for the X's and O's. And to me, this isn't necessarily a roster that screams, oh, he went into the portal, hit it hard. His recruiting chops are really evident here. He's banking on a couple of returners to really kind of lead this team. So I'm not sure what's going on here. This might just be a 1-year stopgap for a brand new head coach.
All right. Next, I've got Morehead State. Same reasons as Mac. This program's in a rough spot.
At number 7, I got EIEIO, middle of the pack, right in the middle.
At number 7. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I guess it's actually one off the middle, but yeah, Marty Simmons, middle-ish of the pack again.
I have Eastern Illinois at 7 as well. It's Cooper Jacoby, and I'm not quite sure. So give me the Panthers at 7.
Right, 7, I'll go Southern Indiana. I think they make big improvement from last season, but they still got some work to do.
Right in the middle for me is Lindenwood, the Lions, right in the middle of the pack. I like what we've seen out of this program. I don't know if they have enough to knock down the door here and get into the top 5. Gerdeman's a good coach, so I'll back Lindenwood here at 6.
Yeah, I'm kind of in lockstep with you here, Mac. I have Lindenwood 6th as well. It's a team that I like and want to like even more. But again, it's a program that hasn't really had a whole lot of success yet. But I think this backcourt, it might be one of the better ones in the league with Makai Cooper coming in from Miami, Ohio, and then Anias Fitrell and Jadis Jones, who played over 30 minutes a game, averaging 12 points per game, almost 6 boards both. So I think it's going to be one of the best backcourts in the OVC this season, Lindenwood.
Okay. I've got the International All-Stars next. I can't wait to watch this team. I can't wait to watch UT Martin is who I'm referring to. I can't wait to watch this team. I'm going to watch a lot of these games because I think they're going to be a lot of fun. But from a results standpoint, I think they're probably going to struggle a bit out of the gate. But I think you're going to see them be another team that improves as the season goes on. I like this team.
I got my Screaming Eagles at 5. Gouard back against the wall here. They're super old. They're all in on this team. I know it's a lot of new faces. I'm going to bet that they mesh together. They get back to what they were year 1 of the OVC.
At 5, I'm going Euro step, baby. UT Martin.
Okay. At 5, I got Lindenwood. I like this team. I think again, you're going to, I love that backcourt, love that roster. Number 5 for me is Lindenwood.
I got Martin at 4, so I'm even higher on the Euro team. Shulman, I think they take a big step. I think they're talented. I think that this roster will be good enough to win games in the OVC. So give me UT Martin at 4, and we're gonna all have the same top 3. So go ahead, Noah. Who do you guys got at 4?
At 4, I'm gonna respect the program pedigree. I think there's gonna be growth throughout the year for this bunch. And I believe in Jonathan Mattox a little bit more than maybe I should after year 1. But I'm going Morehead State 4th.
Okay. At 4, I'll do Tennessee State. No.
You think Tennessee State's going to crack in the top 3?
Yeah, I'll do Tennessee State at 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're all gonna have Little Rock, SEMO, and SIUE 1 through 3. So I'll do it right here. At 3, I got Edwardsville. At 2, I got SEMO, and at 1, I got Little Rock getting back and winning the regular season.
Yeah, I got Edwardsville at 3. They're breaking in that new backcourt, but I think the good front court's going to be able to carry them on throughout the early season. I think they're going to be more dangerous in the back half of the year. I like SEMO and a lot of their experience. I've got them at 2. And number 1, I'm going they're due because of all the injuries last year, but also it's just the most talented roster in the OVC, Little Rock.
Yeah, at 3, I'm SIUE. At 2, I'm SEMO, and at 1, I'm also Little Rock. I think this is the year after the year they get the job done.
All right, so with some of these predictions that we do at the end of the year, I'm going to explain it for one capper, but to the listeners, sleeper and busts. So sleeper, you have to pick a team. So for 10 and less, we always do outside of the top 3 of last year's finish. So that was Southeast Missouri State, SIUE, and Little Rock. You have to choose one of those teams that are not those 3 to finish in the top 4. It's going to be pretty easy for us because that 4th place team, it is one of those. But let's exclude Morehead State. I thought I was going to be I thought I was going to be with you guys and Morehead State would be a top half team, but I've got them 4th. I don't even necessarily think you guys are as high as them. So let's label those sleeper teams.
Okay.
Would mine be Southern Indiana finishing 5th?
Yeah, they finished 10th last year, so it's a pretty good jump.
That's what I was going to pick.
I mean, we could have the same sleeper team.
Oh, okay. In that case, we have the same sleeper team, Mac. I feel smarter already.
There you go.
I'm going UT Martin. They finished 9-11 last year. I think they finished at 500 or a little bit better. They were 7th last season. So, and then Bust, a team that finished in the top half of the league or top 3 or 4 that we think is going to finish near the basement or in the basement. So, top 5, just because I don't know if any of us are going to be too bold on predicting one of those top 3 to fall out. It was SEMO, SIUE, Little Rock, Tennessee State, and then a 3-way tie for 5th, Tennessee Tech, Lindenwood, and Morehead State. Who's your bust?
It's going to be Tech.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Tech.
We all picked them last, I think, or Western. Like them.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then conference tournament winner. Who's going to peak at the right time and punch their ticket?
No way Little Rock wins both. They'll choke.
They will.
SEMO won the regular season. They choked in the championship game last year. They get it done this year. It's always year after the year in these crazy tournaments.
Give me Tennessee State. I think they're
they're
going to be legit in the tournament this year.
Nice.
I'm going to go Little Rock. This is my philosophy on all of these. Like, if there's a team that I really do believe stands out among the rest, I want the best teams in March in the NCAA tournament. So my prediction is going to be Little Rock.
You're going to get Darrell Walkered.
You totally getting Darrell Walker with that one.
All right, Mac.
All right, that does it for OVC. Got to figure out if we're going to do Patriot before or after the pick show. So I got to reach out to Colby, turn notifications on. You just go live right away.
I'm okay if we do it after.
Okay. So Troy's supposed to come on that one, so I got to coordinate with Troy. Cap, you may need to stand by.
Yeah, Troy's the early bird, so you got.
Yeah, so we may Troy. I'm gonna call you right after this, and we'll figure out the schedule because the football show's at 9 coming up here. But either way, we'll get the Patriot in at some point tonight, whether it's after that or before that. So I'll ask Colby. Colby is the main SGP show, so flexibility. You know, we never have anything in stone on this shit show channel. But hey,
it's a loaded Tuesday at SGPN, man.
Oh yeah, preview number 2 of 32.
That's what happens at this time last year. We were 11 previews in. This time this year we're 2.
No, I got other shit going on right now. So.
This guy wanted to go back to Morgantown. He did see a great brawl, but yeah.
I'm going back again this weekend, baby. So yes, I go to ECU on Thursday, and then I'm in Morgantown this weekend. So yeah, and then we'll get all 32 in. Don't worry, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. Check out NEC.
I have a good feeling that Midnight Madness is coming back this year.
Oh, dude, it's definitely dude. I live by procrastination. You got to put a little bit of pressure on, and you'll get it done. But yes, go check out Cannabis Capper at Cannabis Capper. Go check out Noah Bienick at NoahB77_. That is the current handle, right?
Yeah, hasn't changed. It's right there. You got it.
And I am Moneyline Mac at Moneyline_Mac. We are the College Basketball Experience. We'll be with you all preseason long, headed up to November 3rd. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. See you in a little bit. Cheers. And we are out of here.